Stronghold Crusader Definitive Edition has been a huge success for Firefly, and it could have massive implications for the series' future. After launching, it reached a peak of over 16,000 concurrent players, much higher than any other entry in the series, including the original Definitive Edition, which was already a big hit. And over time, it still managed to retain a decent player base, surpassing the original Crusader as the highest played Stronghold game on Steam. I wondered how Firefly would support the game after release until I saw the roadmap that they had planned. 3 months after launch, they were set to release the first of 2 big updates for the game, both consisting of a paid and free portion. The first was the Canary and the Trader, and the second is the Sergeant and the Lioness, which launches today. Or around today, depending on when this video comes out. This one is important for me, as it brings massive things to the game that I think will have a big impact on not just my enjoyment, but yours too. And somehow these are both parts of the free content update, meaning your game just got significantly better at no cost to you. Stick around later in the video if you want to hear about my thoughts on the game's entire post-release lifecycle, and where I think the series will go from here. Otherwise, let's begin with a look at maybe the best value post-release DLC I've seen for any modern RTS game. The paid portion of the Winter Update, the DLC The Sergeant and the Lioness, includes 2 new AI Lords and a fresh Sands of Time trial, just like its predecessor. Now, I'm not a Sands of Time enjoyer, I'll admit. I prefer my Crusader co-op, but I'm happy for you guys out there who are. I'll definitely enjoy the new AI Lords though, the more the merrier, I say. The free part, available to all players whether you buy the DLC or not, brings a second co-op trial to the game, which I am personally very excited for. There's also a map pack, new tools for custom content, and a bunch of smaller quality of life additions that make the game just that little bit better, such as a spectator mode for AI-only battles, a new extreme difficulty option for classic and sands trails, where enemy castles start pre-built, Jesus Christ, a ready up lock option in multiplayer, thank you, and more. You can see the patch notes for everything if you like. Out of all the new stuff though, I think the tools for custom content are going to have the biggest impact on the game. And if you want to give them a go, then they are automatically made available to you through Steam's Tools menu. Through this program, you'll be able to create custom content to your heart's desire. You can make new castle designs and custom lords, or edit existing ones. You can also make your own trails for co-op or single player, and heck, you can also even edit the ones that have already been made by Firefly. The world really is your oyster, and if you're a Stronghold creative genius who builds castles like this, I encourage you to take these tools and run with them. I really can't wait to see what you guys can do with them. Looking at the game now with its roadmap completed, here's how its total content offering stands. Crusader DE now offers 7 historical campaigns, 3 classic trails from the original game with 100 total missions, 2 co-op trails, 6 Sands of Time trails, free build with custom settings, skirmish with tons of options, and 25 different AI Lords, a map editor, a range of difficulties ranging from quite easy to genuinely insane, multiplayer co-op and PvP, custom trails, quality of life options like being able to unlock all the game's missions immediately, disabling time trial timers, enabling classic controls, and creating your own classy coat of arms. Plus, over the past months, there's been bug fixes, balance updates, and AI improvements. Thankfully, including hugely improved multiplayer sync, which was my biggest complaint with the game at launch. It's so much better, in fact, that I haven't seen the message once or had the game pause a single time playing it recently. Nice one. Now, for the paid portion of these content updates, even though I don't actually think either piece of DLC are must-buys for most people, I do reckon the value is pretty great. 4 new mission packs and 4 new lords for a measly $10 US all up? Not bad. But the best content is undoubtedly the free content that Firefly has added, which I guess is infinite value because it's free. Maths aside though, I do really believe what I said in the intro. I think this is some of the best post-release content for any RTS game. Not necessarily because of the type of content it is, it doesn't revolutionize the series or anything, but what it does do is expand the content pool greatly. And perhaps more importantly, it gives the community the tools to take things to a whole new level. Like with all these editors for maps, scenarios, and trails, is there any reason someone couldn't say, oh, I don't know, rebuild the entire Stronghold 1 campaign in Crusader DE and make it co-op? Or make a gauntlet where you run through every AI Lord individually in some sort of 1v1 ultimate deathmatch? Like, I know you guys, within days of these tools being released, there's going to be some custom campaign called the Rat's Revenge or some shit, where you have a 15 mission trail against escalating difficulties of rats, until you get to the last, where it's a 1v7 of turbo rats, with these insane castles that put the wolf to shame. Now, I'm nowhere near talented enough to make anything worth playing, but I've seen what the community can do, and if they take this and run with it, man, who knows where it could end. With the original roadmap now being completed, it begs the question, where does Firefly take Stronghold next? While more DLC for Crusader DE is always an option, I'd be surprised to see them take that route. Historically, they seem to like to tie off their games with a bow and leave them be, but I guess if these two pieces for Crusader had performed extremely well, which I'd say is probably likely, especially considering the price, then I'm sure they'd at least consider making some more. Past that, there's of course their next big entry in the series, which is in development right now, but we know that that's a 3D game that will reflect the modern entries rather than the classics. And if there's one thing that's been made abundantly clear over these past few years, it's that people really love those classics. People have been asking Firefly to return to the 2D sprite-based art style and gameplay for as long as the 3D games have existed, and I do think that now is the time they might address that. I mean, last year when I made my documentary on Crusader DE and spoke to Firefly directly, they said they were listening to community feedback more than ever, and if you wanted a specific kind of game, to just ask for it, and they would listen. Considering how well both definitive editions have performed, I think it's pretty obvious what the people want. And while I'd personally love to see more co-op content for Crusader, I think the best new path forward for Firefly would be to channel that energy into a brand new 2D Stronghold game. Whether it's related to Crusader or the original, or be an entirely new thing, I don't think it matters. Seeing the franchise return to its roots and do what it does best would be amazing to see, and with the talent I know they have at that studio, I reckon they could make something truly awesome that both harkens back to the old days in some ways, but genuinely moves the series forward in others. I am very keen to see what they do with Stronghold Unreal, but I just don't think I'm ever going to be as excited for a 3D Stronghold as I would be for a 2D one. To me, the 2D is just part of the game, it's inherent to why I love it so much. And yeah, am I biased because I basically only played the first two games before I was an adult? Yeah, of course I am. And I'll happily take to the stage here to tell you that the next 3D Stronghold game is the best entry in the series ever, if that ends up being the case. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see what Firefly has in store for us, just hopefully not for too long. Crusader Definitive Edition was great on launch, and now it's even better. And the value is kind of wild when you think about it. It wasn't exactly expensive originally, and with 2 premium DLC packs priced at just $5 each, and the 2 free content expansions, plus all the little patches in between, you're getting a lot more game for your buck now than you were last year. One thing I like about the strategy Firefly employed here is that there really is something for everyone. If you're a co-op diehard like me, then an entirely new exclusive campaign plus the ability for the community to create custom ones is huge. And if you're a comp stomper, then the new AI characters brings the total possible opponents to 25, and the new skirmish options make for a mode that's better than ever. And if you're a map creator or scenario builder, you can use the new tools, all of which are free, to create and edit custom maps, lords, and castles to keep the game fresh for literally as long as you want to. If you haven't played Crusader DE yet, then you should. Whether you're a returning player who played the original, or you're someone who's never played a game in the series before, I think you will have a great time with potentially dozens or even hundreds of hours of fun to be had by yourself or with friends. There's a link in the description, please go check it out if you're interested, and thank you so much for watching. Big shout out to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month and it helps me a lot, so thanks. See you all very soon.